Narcissistic people say lots of different things for various reasons, and usually none of these reasons are for your benefit or your best interest. They're all in the narcissistic individual's interest, as narcissistic people are some of the most exploitative, envious people that you could ever come across, who are very self-centered and feel very entitled to have everything their own way. So this video is going to be about a few things that narcissistic people say and what they actually mean by this. Now, one of the first of these is when they come at you and claim that you're overreacting. Now, we can have a loved one that's seemingly in some form of pain, and we can sort of try and lighten the mood and laugh and joke and, oh, don't you think you're overreacting a little bit? Don't you think you're exaggerating a little bit? However, when we realise that they're not exaggerating, they're not overreacting, we suddenly kick into gear and think, oh, right, we need to get this seen to, and we go all out to help them and support them, and then feel bad for sort of mocking them and joking with them and apologise to them. And someone who cares about you will usually just say, it's okay, it doesn't matter, you were there when I needed you. And with a narcissistic person, when they say you're overreacting, it's usually a repeat pattern of behaviour, and they've usually done something to hurt you, and then when you have a very valid response to their actions, to minimize their actions, they try to exaggerate your reactions and claim that there is something wrong with your actions. And what they mean by this is, I'm entitled to do as I please and you shouldn't call me out on it. Your response is the issue, not my behaviour. Another thing that a narcissistic person might say is, I'm only being honest, or it might come across as, I'm only trying to help. Usually when they've sabotaged you in some way and you go to speak to them about it, and they turn into the victim and the hero in one go by saying to you, I was just trying to help, I'm only being honest. Narcissistic people aren't honest people, they're very deceptive people, because they are looking to exploit people to get their needs met. And what they mean by I'm only being honest is, I'm entitled to demean and criticise and mock and belittle you with no regard to how that makes you feel. Within this, they can also say things like, I was only joking, it's not my fault you can't take a joke. They are literally looking to shift the blame at every given opportunity. You're too sensitive. Narcissistic people lack the empathy to care, therefore they're some of the most insensitive people you could ever come across. Now, we can all have someone that comes to us and explains something, and we can think, you've been a little bit too sensitive to this, maybe it's not that bad. And you're sort of trying to lift their spirits and getting them to see a different picture. However, you're not usually the person who's done something to them. When you realise how it is affecting them, you do what you can to help and support them. With a narcissistic person, they will provoke you in some of the most hideous ways, accuse you of being too sensitive, and again it's that repeat pattern of behaviour, and they'll tell you to just get over it, to let it go. And yes, we do have to get over things, however we also have to process things. What a narcissist means by you're too sensitive is your emotional reaction shows me your vulnerabilities, providing me an opportunity to exploit you all the more. Because by provoking a feeling of sensitivity within you and then accusing you of being too sensitive because you're feeling sensitive, they've gaslighted your reality. So you're thinking, am I being too sensitive? Is it me? Perhaps it is me. And they continue to get away with their behaviour. I never said that. Another form of their gaslighting, sort of I never said that, or that never happened. Narcissistic people will promise you something in your future. They're future faking to get their needs met in their present, and once their needs have been met, that promise they made, because they lack the empathy to care, they have no desire to follow through with what they said. So once their needs are met, all is well and good. And if you dare to bring it up, they get offended that you brought it up, and then they gaslight your reality by claiming that they never said that, or you misunderstood them, or they didn't mean it in that way. And what they mean by this is they're gaslighting your reality, distorting your reality so that they can avoid taking responsibility for their behaviour. They want to undermine your trust within yourself and your trust within your perception so that they can get away with their behaviour. Why are you always so difficult? Why do you have to make everything so difficult? Why are you so stubborn? Why are you so selfish? And now this is usually the narcissist projection, and often as somebody who cares about another, or perhaps is an agreeable person, so you kind of want the smooth way of living. You usually do go along until you finally think, no, I said I would go and do this for so-and-so, I'm going to do this for so-and-so, usually putting someone else before yourself as well. I can't do that today. And then they accuse you of being difficult or awkward or stubborn or selfish or not caring about them, or if they're more important to you than I am. And with a narcissistic person, it is their projection, because they're the self-centered one that wants everything their own way at the cost to other people. There's a big difference between being selfish, which is putting your needs at the cost of other people, and taking care of yourself, which is choosing to do what is right for you in a given moment, whereby if somebody is guilt tripping you into doing something, so you do it for them, and then after you've done it for them, you hold on to that bitterness and resentment because it was the wrong choice for you. It's hurt you. They guilt trip you because they know that guilt within you is going to get you to change your mind. People who guilt trip other people are manipulative people. We can accidentally guilt trip people. It's about us recognizing it within ourselves. Narcissistic people don't recognize it, they just repeat it. And what they mean by saying things such as, why are you always so difficult, is you should just serve me. You're jealous, you're insecure. Narcissistic people are going to go all out to provoke feelings of jealousy within you, because narcissistic people are incredibly envious of others, believing that others are envious of them. And in order to validate this, they're going to go all out to boast and exaggerate about themselves and flirt with people and go all out to provoke jealousy and insecurities and trust issues within you. And then as you think they're a genuine person, you go to communicate your feelings and they validate them in the wrong way by accusing you of being too jealous, too insecure, having trust issues. So you question your reactions to their actions. They're training you to accept their actions as normal when they're actually incredibly hurtful. And what they mean by this is, by accusing you of envy, I deflect any attention away from my infidelity. A narcissist will say things like, you're lucky to have me. With a narcissist, they actually usually genuinely believe this. They believe they're superior. They sort of rewrite it in their head as how they're better than all others. Or they turn around and say, you'll never find anybody like me. Now, when they say you never find anyone like me, remember that's the whole point in breaking free. What narcissistic people mean by this is, I'm superior. I'm better than you. You should be grateful for the breadcrumbs I serve you to keep you hooked. You should be grateful that someone as good as me is willing to give you my time and attention. Now, when it comes down to it, with a narcissistic person, they fear abandonment and rejection. So they're going to try to project that fear onto you so that you don't leave them, and so that you work harder to please them so that they don't leave you. And the other one is, I love you, right? Usually when they've done something to hurt you or to sort of just keep you sweet. You know I love you, right? And this is when a narcissist, well, what they actually mean is I expect blind loyalty, and I'm going to use love to exploit you, to maintain control over you. Now, when someone repeatedly hurts you in very similar ways, they don't love you, they don't care about you, they're just getting their needs met by you. However, the tricky thing with a narcissist is they don't treat you badly all of the time. Sometimes they can love bomb you to keep you hooked. Sometimes they can future fake with you. Sometimes they can breadcrumb you. However, when you're surrounded by broken promises and made to feel like you're in the wrong all the time for everything they do wrong, when you're made to feel like you're inadequate, this isn't a supportive person. This is someone who's looking to take you down, and you need to find a safe way to sidestep away from them. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please add those into the comments for the people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have a couple of books out on Amazon, a Narcissists Handbook, which is the ultimate guide to understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, and 15 rules to deal with narcissistic people if you cannot go no contact. If you'd like to check those out, go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.